We begin our formal program with National Anthem.
हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you. Please be seated. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The whole cosmos of SJIM. We are extremely happy to have eminent personalities midst us today. Shri Pranab Mukherjee, Honorable former President of India, Shri Bandappa Kashimpur, Minister of Cooperation, Government of Karnataka, Most Reverend Dr. Peter Machado, Archbishop of Bangalore, Most Reverend Dr. Bernard Morris, former Archbishop of Bangalore, Reverend Dr. Stanislaus Jerome D'Souza, SJ, Provincial of Karnataka, Jesuit Province, Professor Dr. Rajiv Gowda, MP, Rajya Sabha, Shri N.A. Harris, MLA, Shantinagar Constituency, Light has always been equated with positivity and the harbinger of good. Light symbolizes knowledge, purity, and is the dispeller of darkness. I now request all the dignitaries on the dais to light the lamp. As the dignitaries light the lamp, I request everyone to please rise for the prayer song.
Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. out your power and love as we sing holy, holy, holy. To see you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing holy, holy, holy. Holy, 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 I want to see you. I want to see you.
This day is of pride and celebration for our institute. On this occasion, may I request the Provincial Reverend Dr. Stanislaus Jerome D'Souza to deliver the welcome address.
Shri Pranab Mukherjee, the Honorable former President of the Union of India, Shri Bandepa Kashimpur, the Honorable Minister for Cooperation, Government of Karnataka, dear Archbishops, representatives of people, and all the guests present, good evening to you. It gives me immense joy to welcome you all on behalf of the Bangalore Jesuit Educational Society to the commemoration of the 50 years, the Golden Jubilee of St. Joseph's Institute of Management. St. Joseph's Institute of Management is managed by the Society of Jesus, or Jesuits as they are popularly known, an international religious group of the Catholic Church at the service of humanity. Jubilee is a day to pause, ponder, and proceed. Today, along with the SJIM family, I look back with humility and gratitude for all that the Lord has done in and through us, and look ahead with openness and generosity for all that the Lord has in store for us. The history of St. Joseph's Institute of Management is interesting. It had its inception in 1968 through the visionary Jesuit Reverend Dr. Francis Rebello, SJ, who had finished his doctoral studies in economics from the US. When all bemoaned the wide gulf which existed in India between education and industry, he initiated a diploma course in business administration in an attempt to bridge this gulf. Due to its instant success and growing demands, several more diploma courses were added to the college. Over time, management education evolved into a 2-year full-time program. Therefore, in 1996, St. Joseph's Institute of Management obtained approval from All India Council for Technical Education to start a day program, which was a full-time 2-year postgraduate diploma in management. Recently, in 2016, the institute shifted to its current state-of-art campus and also officially took its new name, St. Joseph's Institute of Management, from St. Joseph's College of Business Administration. Today, St. Joseph's Institute of Management is ranked among the top 100 management schools in India by the 2018 NIRF rankings, Government of India. It is one of only 4 business schools in Bengaluru to be listed in the 2018 NIRF rankings. While being synonymous with excellence, according to Jesuit tradition, SJIM has always been inclusive. We strike a fine balance between excellence and affordability, quality and accessibility. We also teach our students to use their business knowledge to be responsive to India's societal realities. Therefore, the Josephite of our dream is a man and a woman for others, competent and committed, compassionate and conscientious. We would not be here today if not for the bountiful providence of a loving God who has guided this institute with his sure hand. Our patron St. Joseph, foster father of Jesus, who has inspired this institute's motto, Fide et Labore, or faith and toil, has been a constant intercessor. And of course, St. Ignatius of Loyola, our founder, has been our inspiration and motivation. On this memorable occasion, I am truly privileged and happy to welcome our chief guest, the Honorable former President of India, Sri Pranab Mukherjee. Apart from holding the highest office in the country, Sri Pranab Mukherjee has a rich history of service to Indian society. He has held the offices of Minister of Finance, Minister of Defence, Minister of External Affairs, Deputy Chairman of the Planning Commission, and many other illustrious posts in the executive and in Parliament. In him, we have a true Indian, wise and yet humble, spiritual and yet humane. Sir, we warmly welcome you to St. Joseph's Institute of Management. I heartily welcome our special guest of honor, Sri Bandeppa Kashampu, Honorable Minister for Cooperation, Government of Karnataka. He is one of our popular leaders of North Karnataka. Today, he represents Sri Kumaraswamy, the Honorable Chief Minister of Karnataka. Sir, we welcome you to St. Joseph's Institute of Management. The president of today's function is His Grace, Most Reverend Dr. Peter Machado, our beloved Archbishop of Bengaluru. His Grace was recently appointed as the Archbishop of Bengaluru, having already been in the service of the Church as the Bishop of Belagavi. Our Archbishop is known for his cordiality and cheerfulness. Your Grace, we warmly welcome you. I am happy to welcome our guest of honor, the much-loved former Archbishop of Bengaluru, His Grace, Most Reverend Dr. Bernard Morris. His Grace was the Archbishop of Bengaluru from 2004 to 2018 and is well respected as a spiritual leader and an efficient administrator. We warmly welcome you, dear Archbishop. I would like to welcome Professor Rajiv Gowda, Member of Parliament, who is an alumnus of St. Joseph's Institutions in Bengaluru. In him we have a true Josephite, erudite and yet elegant. Sir, we warmly welcome you to St. Joseph's Institute of Management. I am pleased to welcome Sri N.A. Harris, Member of Legislative Assembly, Shantinagar constituency. Sri N.A. Harris has been a long-standing representative of the citizens of this locality in the Legislative Assembly. He has been a good friend of St. Joseph's. Sir, we heartily welcome you to St. Joseph's Institute of Management. I also warmly welcome other dignitaries of the days, those from the office of the former President and the Minister, and all the Reverend Fathers and Sisters, the alumni of St. Joseph's Institute of Management, and the members of other St. Joseph's institutions, members of the press, and the eminent personalities from the corporate world. All of you friends and well-wishers of St. Joseph's Institute of Management, a hearty welcome to you. This institute is one of the many institutions under the Bangalore Jesuit Educational Society and is a part of the larger Karnataka Jesuit province. I welcome all the heads of different BJS institutions, which are ably led by Reverend Father Brian Pereira, the Vice President of BJES. On this day, I am very pleased to welcome the men and women who are part of St. Joseph's Institute of Management, members of the Governing Council, the faculty and the staff, who are all guided by the young and dynamic director, Reverend Dr. Manoj D'Souza. I am especially happy to welcome the students of St. Joseph's Institute of Management, who carry the torch of this institution to the outside world. May your light shine always. It is indeed very delightful and heartening to see so many of you present here today to celebrate a glorious landmark in the history of St. Joseph's Institute of Management. I wish you a pleasant evening. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, Father. And we welcome the Provincial, Rector and Director to St. Joseph Institute of Management. I now request our Chief Guest, the Honorable former President of India, Shri Pranab Mukherjee, to unveil the commemorative plaque. In 2017. In a political career spanning 5 decades, Shri Pranab Mukherjee, as a senior leader of the Indian National Congress, occupied several ministerial portfolios in the Government of India. I now request our Chief Guest for the day, Shri Pranab Mukherjee, Honorable former President of India, to address the gathering.
Good evening. Sri Mandappa, Kasimpur, Minister for Cooperation, Government of Karnataka, Most Reverend Dr. Peter Macharu, Archbishop of Bangalore, Most Reverend Dr. Bernard Moras, former Archbishop of Bangalore, Reverend Dr. Stanislaus D'Souza, Provincial of the Karnataka Jesuit Province, Professor Dr. Rajiv Gowda, Member Parliament, Rajya Sabha, Sri N. A. Harish, Member State Legislative Assembly, Shantinagar Constituency, Reverend Dr. Father Brian Pereira, Rector and Vice President of the Bangalore Jesuit Educational Society, Reverend Dr. Manoj D'Souza, Director, SJIM, distinguished guests, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, very good evening to all of you. I am happy to be present here to commemorate 50 years of St. Joseph's Institute of Management. It holds a distinction of being one of the oldest business schools in not only Karnataka but the entire country. I congratulate the Jesuit fathers who have since 1968 nurtured, built and adapted this institution to the numerous changes that have taken place in the field of management education. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, when this institute began its journey in 1968, Mrs. Indira Gandhi was in her 3rd year of Prime Ministership. I would have entered into the Parliament just a year after. Our independent country was of just 2 decades young, and our business and economic organizations was vastly different from what they are today. Management education itself was in nation stage, not only in our country, but all over the world. I congratulate your foreigners, educationists, and yourself who responded to the young India's need of creating a breed of managers who would skillfully yet ethically steer the great public and private enterprises of this nation. I am told that in Bangalore alone, the St. Joseph's Institute have been providing the college education since 1882, which in itself is extremely laudable. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, while speaking at the stroke of midnight hour on 14th-15th August, memorably set the agenda of our nation when he said, and I quote, "The ambition of Gandhiji, the greatest man of our generation, has been to wipe every tear from every eye. That may be beyond us, but as long as there are tears and suffering, so long our work will never be over." Unquote. India's economic star has been rising. It has also been India's special heritage that we strive our economic growth to be inclusive. I am pleased to know that St. Joseph's Institute of Management has kept inclusiveness as the cornerstone of their educational activities. I am told that the students of all languages, religions, regions, castes, and income levels of India are represented here. Once here, they are actively engaged to collaborate best on their diverse strengths and experiences. I am especially glad to note that St. Joseph's Institute of Management offers nearly 1/3 of its students scholarships and fee concession so that no student need drop out due to lack of funds. By providing such deserving students a chance to get a business degree, this institute has silently helped to improve the economic outlook of so many young Indians and their families. During my public life of 50 years, I had the privilege of serving the government of India for almost a quarter of century. From 1973, of course not continuously, with interjections, till 2012, when I was chosen to be the 13th President of the Republic. And it is before my eyes, almost over 5 centuries, I saw how a nation was unfolding itself from the days of Indian Aid India Consortium, when Indian Finance Minister had to go every year either to Paris or London or to Washington to attend the meeting of the donor countries of India. Those days of humiliation are gone. India is no longer a donation seeker, but to some extent a donation giver to the more deserving countries. Gone are the days when we had to import food grains to feed our burgeoning population. Today, with the food grain production of 286 million ton from just 45 million ton at the day of independence, India is a net exporter of the food commodities, not importer. we have food surplus to feed the people of our people. As industrial nation, we are the seventh industry economy of the world with 1.285 trillion US dollars worth. We are the third military power of the world. We are the sixth member of the nuclear club. We are the sixth member of the space club. And thanks to the imagination of the founding fathers of our Constitution and those who steered the nation, they brought a vast multitude of people with great diversities, which we celebrate, which we observe, which we like, always to find out the unity lying amongst their diversities, and we have been able to preserve it. When I shut my eyes and imagine of India, a vast landmass of 3.3 million square kilometers, having a population of 1.3 billion, having three major ethnic groups, Aryans, Dravidians, Mongolites, and other Caucasians. In their daily lives, using 122 languages and 1600 dialects, practicing 7 religions in their daily lives, yet under one flag, one constitution, one system. Just a couple of days back, we have celebrated our Constitution Day. Constitution Day means 24th November 1949, when we, the people of India, adopted, enacted, and gave to ourselves the Constitution, which is a sacred text for every democracy-loving people of India. The Constitution which runs with the objective justice, social, economic, and political, liberty of faith, expression, belief, faith, and worship, equality of status and opportunity, encouraging the fraternity amongst all Indians, assuring the dignity of the individual and unity and integrity of the nation as a whole. This sacred text has kept us together, and just a few months after today, we are going to celebrate to have the general election where more than 900 million people will exercise their franchise to elect 543 members of Lok Sabha from each and every part of India. And we can proudly tell we are the inheritor of the largest functional parliamentary democracy in India. When I say these words, I do not say that everything is all right. There is no aberration. There is no shortcomings. Yes, there are aberrations. And I feel pained when I look at the television camera and the flashes come of violence. When I go through the newspaper in the morning, the headlines capturing the atrocities on innocents. I feel sad. I feel anguished, like all of you, because we live in a land which many years ago, 5,000 years ago, preached the principle of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Whole world is my relations. India is not a nation in the concept of European nation state, which formulated after the Treaty of Australia, 1648. We believe we have no enemy. All are friends. We believe all are equal. We believe we can coexist with diversity. We celebrate diversity. We enjoy it. We have never tried, like many other civilizations, to bring all views and all ideas and all civilizations in a straitjacket as a process of eliminating many of them, which are written in the pages of history. Therefore, in this unique civilization, distinguished teachers, dear students, you are performing a wonderful job. Particularly this institution, when I have mentioned that you have accepted the motto of unity in diversity, of celebrating diversity, of accepting it, honoring it, and making examples how to live in peace, cooperation, understanding with each other under the teachings and guidance of your great peers, the fathers and other senior leaders. Therefore, what I feel as students, as individual citizens, as individual personalities, all of us have a responsibility to remove the ills. It is just not merely the structure of democratic functioning, an elected parliament, having 543 members in Lok Sabha, plus 2 nominated, and having 245 members of Rajya Sabha, 233 elected and 12 nominated, and 4,227 MLAs of 30 states all over the India are not adequate to support our democratic structure. To support this democratic structure, where everybody is equal, where justice is assured for all, where equality is preached for all, where equal status and opportunity is guaranteed to all, where fundamental rights and fundamental duties are enjoined upon each and every individual. If we want to preserve, we must practice diversity, celebrating it, accepting it, and restrain ourselves from preventing to have an artificial unity amongst them. The strength of Indian civilization, which has flourished for 5,000 years, over 5 million millennia, is this acceptance of diversity, acceptance of difference, honoring and accepting the divergent views existence. Therefore, all of us have a special responsibility. And that responsibility we can discharge if we are aware of the social needs. And in our own way, we try to find out how we can help the society to overcome its needs. All of you, after obtaining the degrees, like IIT students, IIM students also, like NIT students, like engineers and others, you are assured of the job market. You are assured of your prospective career. By all means, you pursue it. You do it. At the same time, keep it in mind. The contribution of your institutions, the contributions of the society in which you are living, the contributions of others, your peers and guides, your teachers, who have shaped you to be what you are. Therefore, all of us have some sort of social responsibility, and society can claim a dividend out of it. And we shall discharge our dividend liability to the society if we try to improve the conditions of society by removing, with the cooperation and help of others, the deficiencies which we find it. If we inculcate this culture among ourselves, I do feel it would be easier for the policymakers and administrators of the country to discharge their responsibility with much more outcome. I do not always believe in the larger outlays unless the larger outlays bring larger outcome. Not only investment, but outcome of the investment is equally important. Therefore, figures cannot keep people who are on the margin happy and satisfied. What can keep them happy and satisfied is the outcome, is the result, is the product of investment. One thing we have to keep in mind, all of you are going to be professional managers. Almost for 40 years, even more than that, almost 75 years, with the establishment of the Bretton Woods institutions, with the establishment of GATS, along with World Bank, International Monetary Fund, in 1945, which is known as the Bretton Woods institutions, and GATS, which were replaced by World Trade Organization after 50 years of Bretton Woods institution in 1995 through Marrakesh Declaration. We all advocated, we all solemnly promised, as representing India in the Marrakesh Declaration, I am the signatory to the WTO document and agreement on behalf of India. All of us pledged ourselves to create the free market, uninhibited movement of goods and services from the country to country, and abolition, gradual dismantling of protectionism. But unfortunately, growing protectionism is seriously affecting the outcome of the world trade. One country may be profitable by restricting the job opportunities to its own country, to its own people, to its own citizens. But in the days of global villages, at least conceptually, when we are accepting it, we cannot create that type of artificial barrier. Therefore, I would urge on all of you, the young minds, the management and the faculty of the St. Joseph's Institute, to come up with suitable answers to meet this great challenge of our generation. We need answers as to where Indian business should invest its energy, its resources. We need the syllabi that match the needs of the socio-economic environment and its transformation. Please remember, within 10 years of the adoption of our Constitution, one of the serious critics of that Constitution, the then British Prime Minister Sir Anthony Eden, revised his opinion and described, I was wrong at the beginning. What India has adopted is not only a constitutional document, a legal enactment to administer a country, but it is a document, a great Magna Carta of the socio-economic transformation. Therefore, to achieve that socio-economic information, we ought to build up the conducive atmosphere where we can achieve this. To the alumni and the current students of the St. Joseph's Institute of Management, let me commend you, and let me also remind you that you are one of the very few lucky students with access to an MBA education. Your country and your poor institute has given you much. In return, I urge you to use your knowledge meaningfully. I hope you will contribute to making our corporations more innovative, more transparent, more successful, and more sustainable. In doing so, you will, like each past generation of students before you, use your expertise to take this country to greater heights. I wish you all success, and with these words, once again, I thank you, particularly you, Father Management, who have given me this opportunity to be amidst you in this delightful evening. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for the insightful speech. I request the Provincial Reverend Dr. Stanislaus Jerome D'Souza to present a memento to Sri Pranab Mukherjee. Kindly be seated. I request our Director, Reverend Dr. Manoj D'Souza, to propose vote of thanks as our Chief Guest Sri Pranab Mukherjee needs to leave immediately.
As the Executive Director of St. Joseph's Institute of Management, it is my pleasure to propose the vote of thanks to our Honorable former President of India, Sri Pranab Mukherjee. Dear Sir, your presence here tonight has ensured that this celebration will go down as a red-letter day in the annals of our institute. Sir, thank you very much for so graciously and readily accepting our invitation to be with us in Bengaluru on this, our Golden Jubilee. Thank you for your kind words of commendation and your advice to us. We assure you that on this Golden Jubilee, we at St. Joseph's Institute of Management resolve to redouble our efforts to work in the service of our young people of this country. I would also thank Shri Abhijit Rai and his team from the office of the former President of India. Thank you for making all arrangements for the chief guest of this function. Thank you.
I request everyone to rise as Sri Pranab Mukherjee leaves the auditorium. Minister for Cooperation, Government of Karnataka. May I request Sri Bandapa Kashimpur to address the gathering.
ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಈ ಒಂದು 50ನೇ ವರ್ಷದ ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ ಜುಬ್ಲಿ ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಷನ್ದ ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ಉದ್ಘಾಟನೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೋದಂಥ ಘನವೆತ್ತ ಮಾಜಿ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಪತಿಗಳು ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಶ್ರೀ ಪ್ರಣಬ್ ಮುಖರ್ಜಿಯವರು ಹಾಗೂ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ರೆವರೆಂಡ್ ಆರ್ಚ್ ಬಿಷಪ್ ಪೀಟರ್ ಮಾಚಂದ್ ಅವರೇ ಹಾಗೂ ರೆವರೆಂಡ್ ಬಿಷಪ್ ಬರ್ನಾರ್ಡ್ ಮೋರಸ್ ಅವರೇ, ರೆವರೆಂಡ್ ಫಾದರ್ ಪ್ರವೀಣ್ ಸಿಎಲ್ ಅವರೇ ಹಾಗೂ ರಾಜ್ಯಸಭಾ ಸದಸ್ಯರು ಆತ್ಮೀಯರಾದ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ರಾಜೀವ್ ಗೌಡ ಅವರೇ ಹಾಗೂ ಈ ಭಾಗದ ಜನಪ್ರಿಯ ಶಾಸಕರು ಆತ್ಮೀಯರಾದ ಎನ್.ಎ. ಹ್ಯಾರಿಸ್ ಅವರೇ, ರೆವರೆಂಡ್ ಫಾದರ್ ರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅವರೇ, ಫಾದರ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅವರೇ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಪದಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳೇ ಹಾಗೂ ಟುಡೇ ಆನರೇಬಲ್ ಚೀಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ supposed to come here, but since from morning 10 o'clock he is very busy because as you know Karnataka is facing lot of drought and some part it is flooded. That's why today whole Karnataka, all DCs, regional commissioners and CEOs, still he is holding meeting in Vidhan Sabha. That's why on his behalf and on Karnataka government I came here. So just I will read the Honorable CM speech. It is with great pleasure that I am addressing today. I feel that I am a part of a vibrant, dynamic and creative group of people. I command your interest and energies to contribute to the growth and progress of our beloved country and our state of Karnataka. I know the great contribution with the Christian community has been making to the welfare of all sections of our people in the areas of education, culture, spirituality, healthcare and social uplift. This institution which imparts management education is certainly a jewel in the crown of Christian education service. When the people of Karnataka recently entrusted me with the responsibility to lead the government, my one signal pledge was to work sincerely and tirelessly for the progress and prosperity of all the sections of our people without discriminating of caste, creed and community. That is why I am happy to associate myself in the celebration of Christian community today. I feel humbled as well as privileged to me present this event along with the most respected Sri Pranab Mukherjee, 13th President of India, with this vast experience spanning 5 decades of active politics, his great knowledge, his outstanding memory, his strong commitment to the idea of India and as an inclusive, free and just society. I am told that your institute is in Golden Jubilee years. Congratulations and best wishes walking down memory lane. Dear students, as you move on in your life and follow your stars, remember that there are millions of young people like in our state who are not as fortunate as you are. Have a heart that is compassionate and sensitive towards them and strive to what you can do, bring a ray of sunshine in their otherwise dark and difficult existence. Remember, you are the proud students of St. Joseph's Institute of Management. Since your integrity, your deep compassion, your total dedication, people will want to know where you studied, that you were trained, where you picked up these basic but great values. And it is then that you will truly hold high the institution's flag of faith and toil. That is enough advertisement for your institute. It needs no other. In the current economic scenario of the world, and particularly in India and Karnataka, management education has acquired new dimensions. The field of management is always changing. Now, new tools and methods are continuously being introduced to improve the productivity and profitability of any organization. Rapid changes in both technology and economic systems, along with the speed of change, require executives to be engaged in a constant learning process. Therefore, management institutions should strive to develop experiential courses in creativity and managerial innovation, as knowledge and action are closely linked to others. We have to educate wisely all those who will manage critical institutions of our world, our country and state. So, as I said earlier, as the state, my constant concern being to all the section of our people along in our long and difficult march towards peace, progress and prosperity for all, excluding no one and depriving no one of their right to a free, peacefully, happily and healthily life. In the noble endeavor, I and my government need the goodwill, support, guidance, help and cooperation of all our people, especially those who run education institutions, manage, cooperate, consult and train human resources. Thus, joining hands with one another and working shoulders to shoulders, we shall surely achieve and cherished dream of Suvarna Karnataka and Golden Karnataka. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
Thank you, sir. I request the Provincial, Reverend Dr. Stanislaus Jerome D'Souza, to present a memento to Sri Bandappa Kashimpur. Thank you, Father. Plants are the best monuments that a man can erect to his own memory. They speak his praises without flattery, and they are blessings to children yet unborn. To commemorate the Golden Jubilee celebration, the beautiful golden shar tree or Cassia fistula with a bright golden yellow foliage which represents knowledge and creativity has been proposed as a visual reminder for many years to come. I now request Most Reverend Dr. Peter Machado, Archbishop of Bangalore, to water the ceremonial plant which will be preserved for posterity in the grounds of St. Joseph's Institute of Management. Jubilee celebration, His Grace, Most Reverend Dr. Peter Machado, Archbishop of Bangalore, to share his thoughts on this auspicious occasion.
Respected Sri Bandappa Kashipa, Honorable Minister, our own dear Archbishop Emeritus, Dr. Bernard Morris, the Provincial of Karnataka Jesuit Province, Reverend Dr. Stanislaus D'Souza, Member of Parliament, Professor Member of the Rajya Sabha, Professor Rajiv Gowda, MLA Shantinagar constituency, Sri N.A. Harris, Father Rector, Father Brian Pereira, the Executive Director, Dr. Manoj, my dear fathers, my dear staff, my dear students, and my dear members of the public. I have just watered a plant, and St. Joseph's Institute of Management is already a big banyan tree. Last 50 years, we've experienced the growth of this institution, and surely many students and alumni are happy. On my part, I am also personally happy and proud to be also an alumni of the Jesuit institutions. If this is the Institute of Management, the Jesuits taught me in the Institute of Religious Management, and I am a priest. Perhaps I owe very much to the Jesuits. Let me first pay my tributes to all of them. The Jesuits, as we know, their founder, St. Ignatius of Loyola, was a charismatic personality with vision and with mission. A far-sighted vision wherein he saw in every character, every person, every one of his followers, he saw something for the future. But he didn't stop at that. He was a man of mission also. He was a visionary, he was a missionary, and missionary not just in the religious restricted sense, but one who embraced the whole world and a passion to do and to improve. The great aim of education, they say, is not just knowledge, but action. And I think that is what we have to appreciate in the Ignatian type of studies or managements that we have. The word education itself has got a double root. It comes from the Latin and the Italian, educare and edificare. The word educare, duc, is the root for leadership, and therefore the institutes of the Jesuits prepare leaders of the future. And at the same time, the word edificare, the word edify, we say, or edifice, we call it, is brick by brick work that is very patient, that is long-standing. And perhaps the Jesuits have to be credited that they just don't come up with ideas but work from the grassroots level to bring up, to make the leaders of the country. Our own ex-president has reminded us of our first Prime Minister, Mr. Nehru's dream, a tryst with destiny. It's important for us to realize and to capture this moment in history that today's youth, today's leaders have to be something special. An institution like this perhaps is successful, or rather is on the path to success, because three of our great qualities, which especially our Christian institutions try to adapt. Number one is institutes of excellence. Excellence, and therefore St. Joseph's, I know, is excellent because the Jesuits won't settle down for anything less than that. The sky is their limit. But secondly, the second E, I would say, our institutions are ethical. Are ethical. Money not just for the sake of money. It's not just for the sake of a result-oriented, but with morals. With morals. Mahatma Gandhi is supposed to have said, education is of no value if it's not able to build a sound character. And therefore institutions like this also build up leaders of character. And thirdly, I would say the third E is evolving. They constantly, the Jesuits constantly evolve, as it were, from the grassroots level, from the young, adapting to the situations, and every time matching to the trend and to the style of the country, the style of the generation. And that is their greatness. And we are very happy, and I am very happy for you, that so many of our students are proud of these institutions. And for the staff and the students, I don't have much to say, because you have gained, as it were, you are in the pinnacle of your careers, of your life, of your studentship, and therefore don't waste your time. An institution like this is a jewel, a treasure. Make good use of it. Don't just postpone things. Perhaps this is the time, this is the day. And therefore, make use of the opportunity and never perhaps postpone or be something else than the original. I think it is Stephen Jobs who said that life is short, and therefore let us not try to live someone else's life. Let us live our own life. Let us pick up our own strands, as it were. And the institution that is celebrating the 50th year is giving us pearls of wisdom and pearls of character. Let us hasten to pick them up. I wish you well, and I pray God's blessings on the management, the staff, and the students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Grace, for those inspiring words. I request our Rector, Reverend Father Brian Pereira, to present a memento to His Grace, Most Reverend Dr. Peter Machado. Thank you, Father. Our guest of honor today is the Most Reverend Dr. Bernard Morris, the former Archbishop of Bangalore. I now request His Grace to address the gathering.
Your Grace, dear fathers, sisters, my dear friends, students, today we are celebrating the golden jubilee of this great institution, St. Joseph Institute of Business Management. What began as a small diploma program has now grown into a majestic institution, harboring students from not only Karnataka but all over India. Let me congratulate the Society of Jesus and St. Joseph's College for starting the Institute of Management. We remember today the Amifi fathers, French foreign mission fathers, who aimed to educate the youth of Bangalore and handed this institution to the Jesuits, who have fulfilled this Herculean task and have made our archdiocese, Karnataka, and our country proud. The Society of Jesus has always been known for its motto and service in all its activities, Ad Maiorem Dei Gloriam, for the greater glory of God. Equally well known is the Jesuits' reputation as educators, giving rise to the adage, "Give me a child of 7 and I will show you the man." Jesuits have always believed that education would liberate students and expose them to the full range of academic disciplines, modes of inquiry, encouraging them to challenge previously held assumptions and opening their minds to a true and therefore liberating vision of the world. Jesuit institutions have been the means of realizing the dreams of transforming human society by working with the individuals by means of social, spiritual, developmental, intellectual formation. The ethos of these institutions is very much influenced by spiritual values of justice and brotherhood, peace and reconciliation, equality and harmony, service and respect for human dignity. Therefore, there is a measure of discipline, system, order, and efficiency in running these institutions under the benevolent and at the same time resolute management. The deprived, the disadvantaged, and dispossessed sections of the society receive a preferential treatment in these their institutions. Jesuits have done a marvelous job in education, training the young in Karnataka, in Bangalore, and in all their institutions in India and abroad. The values upheld by our forefathers are watered down and disappearing. Today, we live in a world of selfishness, corruption, lawlessness in all sections of the society and even in administration. To build a human society is a challenge and a great task. Dear friends, just I came across that Pope Francis is planning for his message for the World Day of the Peace, which is the 1st of January. On the theme, good politics is at the service of peace. This is the theme. Yes, how political responsibility belongs to all citizens, he is emphasizing, especially those given the mandate to protect and to govern. This mission consists in safeguarding law and encouraging dialogue among the stakeholders in society, between generations and among the cultures. Holy Father says, political involvement is one of the loftiest expressions of charity. It brings with it a concern for future life and planet of the young and the least in their thirst for fulfillment. When people's rights are respected, then they will start to feel their own duty to respect the rights of others. We are thus called upon to proclaim and bring peace and good news of future where every living being will respect in its right the rights and dignity of every citizen. My dear friends, my appeal to the Jesuits, what we need today is a structure to build civil administration in Karnataka and in our motherland, to prepare people who are filled with Christian and Jesuit ideals to administer and govern our country and our people. We need persons well prepared, dedicated, and committed. And you Jesuits have that noble task to do and provide a new and greater vision. You have the young Jesuits with you. You can see them here in this hall to support your vision. You have trained persons who can train others. You have the great infrastructure in your institutions, and you have the alumni who are always with you to support you. More than anything else, you have the backing of all the Jesuits in India and all over the world. We must confess you have a strong support and backing of all. Challenge to you, therefore, is to live and call the spirit of Jesuits to form men and women for others. In this Golden Jubilee year, as you step into the 51st year of this institution, great institution, I wish you that you will commence a college of civil service which will be outstanding and produce great leaders for our country who will provide true leadership and bring credit to our state, to our archdiocese, and to our country. Dear friends, I wish all of you, and especially Jesuits and their education society, God's choicest blessing.
Thank you, Your Grace. Now I request our Rector, Reverend Father Brian Pereira, SJ, to present a memento to His Grace, Most Reverend Dr. Bernard Morris. Thank you, Father. Professor Dr. Rajiv Gowda, our guest of honor today, is a Member of Parliament and an alumnus of the St. Joseph Institution. Sir, may I request you to address the gathering.
The Honorable Minister for Cooperation, my good friend Sri Bandappa Kashimpur, the Most Reverend Dr. Peter Machado, Archbishop of Bangalore, Most Reverend Dr. Bernard Morris, our former Archbishop of Bangalore, Reverend Dr. Stanislaus D'Souza, Provincial, Karnataka Jesuit Province, my close friend, Sri Aine Harris, MLA of Shantinagar, Father Brian Pereira, Rector, and Father Manoj D'Souza, Executive Director of St. Joseph's Institute of Management. It gives me tremendous pleasure to be here with you this evening. And as has already been mentioned, I stand here not just as a guest, but as an alumnus of St. Joseph's Institutions. It's a tremendous pleasure that two of my former teachers are in the audience. Father Hedwig Da Costa, who was our principal and taught me English in school and in college, and Father Eugene Lobo, who was my vice principal in college and taught me economics. I've also had the pleasure of being present at the 150th anniversary of St. Joseph's Boys High School where I studied, the 125th, I think, of St. Joseph's College, and now the Golden Jubilee of the St. Joseph's Institute of Management. And of course, as a proud old boy, the centenary of our school Old Boys Association. So it's been a great bunch of memorable occasions, and occasions when we can think back and see the kind of contribution that the Society of Jesus and the fathers, Jesuit fathers, have given us, the kind of foundation that they've built in a large number of people, the kind of impact they've had. And that foundation really is what allowed me to reach where I am here, where I have reached today. Not only did I study in St. Joseph's School and College in Bangalore, but my first postgraduate degree, my master's, was at a school called, at a university called Fordham, which is also run by the Jesuits
And then I went on to the Wharton School and got a PhD there. So, but the foundation for all this is the educational background, the inputs that I received while I was in school at St. Joseph's. So when I think back, I think that one of the best gifts my parents ever gave me was admitting me a long, long time ago in 1974 in St. Joseph's Boys High School. What did I get from that? Well, if you think about it, I grew up in a family of freedom fighters, and at home I was, where the values that were instilled in me were of patriotism, of commitment, of public service, of ethics and values. And in school, these were the same values that were reinforced. Essentially, compassion, empathy, commitment to knowledge creation and knowledge sharing, and the desire to go out and make the world a better place for everybody. So there was absolutely no dissonance between home and school. In fact, one reinforced the other. And I'm happy to say that those values and principles have stood me in good stead. It's been a long and difficult journey breaking into a political career, and it's still a very, very treacherous domain in terms of values and ethics. But I must say, whatever the temptations and the challenges, I think I can say proudly that I've been able to hold on to the values that were inculcated in me. Our former president, Pranab Mukherjee ji, talked about social responsibility. And I used to be a professor at IIM Bangalore, and there one of the first lessons that we would discuss was about corporate social responsibility. There's a very famous saying from Milton Friedman that the business of business is business. There is no scope for social responsibility. But it is that limited view which ends up creating the crises of global financial crises and numerous others that ultimately hurt the most vulnerable in our society because of some people's greed, some people's loss of their moral and ethical compass. And I think one of the contributions of a Jesuit institution in the field of management and business is that you will be imparting through the example of your own lives and what you do and what you teach and preach, and what you essentially bring into the classroom as well, the kind of ethical flavor, the kind of commitment to social responsibility, that would make your graduates truly balanced, truly path-breaking in terms of going out there and making the world of business a better place. Mahatma Gandhi used to talk about trusteeship, and today we have actually passed laws about corporate social responsibility, mandated that companies allocate 2% of their resources. But it's not just about money, it's about an attitude, it's about a concern for society. When you think about value, why people buy your products, buy your services, it's because there's something of value that they get from it. And if that is the attitude and mindset with which we go forward, that we are creating value that will make a difference to others, then the kind of work we do, the kind of passion that we bring to our work, all that will make a huge difference and make us successful. We will be able to do well, we will be able to do good at the same time. So I'm a disciplined Josephite. What shall we say? The instructions to me were to speak for 4 minutes. I think my time is already up. And so I will actually not do what politicians and professors normally do, which is wax eloquent for hours and hours. I could, because that is the kind of gratitude that I feel towards the Jesuits and the St. Joseph's institutions. They've made me what I am, and I'm sure that the students in this audience will also go on to reach greater heights and will also come back here one day, occupy the podium, and tell us stories about their successes, how they built on the contributions of St. Joseph's Institute of Management to make a difference to society. Thank you very much, and all the very best.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our director, Reverend Dr. Manoj D'Souza, to present a token of appreciation to Professor Dr. Rajiv Gowda. Thank you, Father. May I request Sri N.A. Harris, Member of Legislative Assembly, to share his valuable thoughts on today's auspicious occasion.
Good evening to everyone here. St. Joseph College of Institute of Management is celebrating the Golden Jubilee celebration. On the dais, President Most Reverend Dr. Peter Machado, Archbishop of Bangalore. We have His Grace, former Archbishop Most Reverend Dr. Bernard Morris. We have Provincial of Jesuit Province, Reverend Dr. Stanley D'Souza. My friend, Honorable Minister of Government of Karnataka, Bandyappa Kashyapnath. Have my one more friend, Professor Rajiv Gowda, the MP Rajya Sabha. We have Rector of St. Joseph Institution, Reverend Father Brian Pereira. We have Executive Director, Reverend Dr. Manoj D'Souza. Many fathers and friends, sisters, dignitaries, dear students. I saw the list. I am the last speaker. As each one of them were speaking, I was thinking what to speak. Everyone were taking away whatever I was thinking about. So I feel that all the messages are conveyed to you. Former President of India, Pranab Mukherjee, in his elaborate speech, the message, he just gave a glance what the constitution of our country was meant for. I hope each one of us understand that and value that constitution of India, which is very important. Because today, the Indian politics is at a time where we don't have those kind of leaders who loved every Indian, who were proud to be Indian and who liked each Indian to grow. Not like the Joseph Institute, which takes every child into it and gives education to all. I think we need that, and that is what Pranab Mukherjee was trying to tell us. 45 million tons to 2,800 tons of food production, 13 billion population. Look at the growth where we have reached, and you, the students, are the future of this country. For some time we will be there, after that it is you take over it. The fathers have sacrificed their life for the cause of humanity. My friend Rajiv Gowda mentioned that he was lucky to be a student of St. Joseph College and school. I am lucky to be still a student of the school and the college, because I am associated with all the fathers of St. Joseph, and I am learning the humanity and love, care, what they are giving to society. So Rajiv Gowda has completed and gone, but I am lucky that all the institutions are in my constituency, and I am associated with all of you. Kashyapnವರು ಎಲ್ಲಾನು ನನ್ನ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಇವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಪಾಠ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಇವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ನಾನು. ಆದರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸಮಾಜಕ್ಕೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ದಿಕ್ಕಿನಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗುವಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ನಮ್ಮ ಈ ಜೋಸೆಫೈಟ್ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಬಹಳ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೊವಿನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಫಾದರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾನಿ ಅವರು ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಉತ್ತಮವಾದಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಥರ, ಈಗ ಈ ಒಂದು ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇವ್ರು ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಗಿರುವಂಥದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸುಮಾರು 50 ವರ್ಷ ಹೇಗಾಯ್ತು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ 50 ವರ್ಷ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇವರು 100 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಬೆಳೆಸಿರೋದು ಯಾರ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೂ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಮಾನವೀಯತೆಯನ್ನ ಕಲಿಸ್ಕೊಡುವಂಥ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಸೆಂಟ್ ಜೋಸೆಫ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ. Thank you for those applause, because I didn't hear anyone from Pranab Mukherjee to last Rajiv Gowda. Is it that Josephus don't clap? You need to, otherwise we'll feel sleepy. We can sleep listening to your speech, but we can't close our eyes in life, because life gives many chances to us, but by chance we won't get life again. We have to understand this. Because all the students here, you are the lucky ones. World-class infrastructure, best of faculties, and full support to all of you. You are going to be masters of your field. You are going to be masters in whatever you are doing here. Josephs have a lot of courses. Started with a diploma course. Today they have a full-fledged course. And they are one of the best institutions out of 101 in the country. I really congratulate you for that, Father, and everyone, the principal, management, and the students for that. Let me thank everyone for giving me this opportunity. And I would request the students. I hardly find you people sometime at the traffic signal, St. Joseph, trying to say don't horn, noise pollution. But I think we need to get more involved with the society to make it better. Your involvement will surely bring in a change. Yesterday, Father, the rector, Father Brian, was calling me the road. Suddenly somebody dug the road. Father said, tomorrow we have a program. I said, Father, don't worry, I'll see to that it is done. I kept up my word. But that is not what I want to say. I want you, the students of this institution, you know, I have almost 150,000 students every day coming into my constituency and going back. If all of us can involve, I can make Shantinagar the best constituency in the whole of the country. So I invite each one of you to get involved with all the development works and getting into bringing and motivating the next generation to do better things. From managing garbage to sound pollution to everything. I think the student leaders will look into it. I thank each one of you. I'm really honored to be here. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our director, Reverend Dr. Manoj D'Souza, to present a token of appreciation to Sri N.A. Harris. As we reach the conclusion of this Golden Jubilee celebration, I request our director, Reverend Dr. Manoj D'Souza, to propose the vote of thanks.
Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. Every celebration is an experience. The external fades away and the internal lingers and echoes in the most depth of our hearts. We are reminded that jubilees are milestones on the journey of life and reminders of God's fidelity all through. Today, our hearts are filled with gratitude and joy that overflows within us as we recall the path our college has traveled in these 50 years. I would like to thank Sri Bandaba Kashampur, the Honorable Minister for Cooperation, for being the special guest of honor at this solemn event. Thank you, sir. I would like to take this opportunity to express my sincere gratitude to Most Reverend Dr. Peter Machado, Archbishop of Bengaluru, for accepting to be the president of this function and delivering his message. I thank all the guests of honor, Most Reverend Dr. Bernard Morris, former Archbishop of Bengaluru Diocese, Reverend Dr. Stanislaus Jerome D'Souza, Provincial of Karnataka Jesuit Province, Professor Rajiv Gowda, Member of Parliament, and Sri N.A. Harris, Member of Legislative Assembly, for accepting our invitation and adorning this occasion. SJIM fraternity remains indebted to Reverend Father Brian Pereira for providing immense support to organize this great event. I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to fathers, sisters, alumni, members of the press, eminent personalities from the corporate world, and all the well-wishers of St. Joseph's Institute of Management. On an occasion like this, one cannot but remember the services rendered by our dedicated past directors who nurtured this institute with utmost care and great vision. Now I call upon our fathers Stanislaus D'Souza, the Provincial of Karnataka Jubilee Province, to honor them. We have 4 of them here. Father Walter Andrade. He was the director from the year 1984 to 89 and again 1994 to 2000. Thank you, Father. Father Eugene Lobo. Father Eugene Lobo was the director from the year 1989 to 2014. Father Peter Xavier. Father was the director for 3 years in 2 terms. Now I call upon our rector, Father Brian Pereira, to honor Father Stanislaus D'Souza, who himself entered this institute for 2 years. We also gratefully remember Father Francis Rebello, who founded this institute and led it for almost 16 years, and Father Ashley D'Souza, who built it, both of whom have gone for their heavenly reward. An event of this dimension cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months in advance. It requires meticulous planning and execution and an eye for details. I have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated colleagues who know their job and are result-oriented. I cannot thank everyone enough for the involvement they have shown and the willingness they have expressed to take on the completion of tasks beyond their comfort zones. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, Father. A college ethos is fide et labore, which means with faith and toil. We at St. Joseph Institute of Management follow our motto in all our endeavors. I now request everyone to stand for the college anthem led by the college choir.
Bring out the battle call of duty, unfold the flag of faith and joy. Redeem our souls' eternal beauty, a life from which this world is born. 1,000 such have proudly gone before us to win and strength our schools renown. To justice well with the voices, the chorus, and with the leaves can reach the crown. Faith and joy, confidence alliance, let be glass, human hands not the gods, in His control, find me.
Thank you, Carl. Please be seated. Days gone by are remembered when memories are created. I hope all of you gathered here today take back pleasant memories of this Golden Jubilee celebration of our institute. Please join us for dinner as we continue our celebration. For guests and the faculty, the dinner is arranged in the Xavier's Hall. I request the ushers to guide the guests to the Xavier's Hall. Students, dinner is arranged at the basketball court. Please join us for the dinner. Have a pleasant evening. I request all the students to be please seated.